Hi, I'm Joseph Murphy, and welcome to Alien Brain Fog, a science-based podcast focused on memory, identity, and the systems of oppression that affect both. How do you know who you really are? On our first episode, we're going to deal with an important question. How can you tell if you've lost your f***ing mind?
Long COVID and medical gaslighting.
It's an ontological crisis.
I don't even see color.
Are aliens real?
Here's the agenda for today's podcast and what we'll learn. Is everyone crazy right now? Am I a crazy person? What is mental health? Is it a personal or societal problem? We're then going to look at different ways to determine if something is true. We're going to look at the difference between science and magic. And unlike Bill Nye, I do believe in magic. And I'll end with my hypothesis. I have a theory. I think I understand why everyone's lost their f***ing mind. And I'm going to tell you why. Is it just me, or does everyone seem a little crazy right now? Everywhere I look, I see the same expression on people's faces. It's a look of shock and anger. Like no one can believe what's really happening right now. For the last 4 years, it's been one thing after another. It was COVID, quarantine, George Floyd's murder, uprisings, unprecedented inflation and income inequality. A lot of people seem to think the world is ending, and a few people seem to hope it does. The government announced aliens are real, and no one cares. Like no one cares because for many of us, we're stuck in survival mode. Like, it's taking all of our resources just to get through the day. We don't have the calories for aliens. More and more angry young men, largely white, are focusing their rage on innocent people, largely not white. Now, some people are taking extraordinary risks, like going into an experimental submarine. Other people are looking for the Loch Ness Monster. Are we all crazy? Trump talks about shooting his political rivals, and it's just a normal news cycle. And there are many people who think I am a complete fucking nutbar. How do you know who you are? Are you the person your parents think you are? That's not just a question for children. I know grown men in their 50s who are still living their lives for their parents, even if their parents are dead. Now, are you the person your neighbors think you are? How would they describe you? Your friends, your coworkers? Do they get to decide who you are? Is identity locked into our genetics or our birth records, or is it something that only you can decide? First, I'll tell you who I think I am. My name is Joseph Murphy. I'm Canadian, like the other Joe. For most of my life, I've been in Windsor, Ontario, which is just across the river from Detroit, home of Motown and the Nain Rouge. Now, Windsor calls itself the City of Roses. Stephen Colbert famously called it the location of Earth's rectum. Which one of us is right? Now, despite its size, Windsor has given birth to greatness. Shania Twain, Oliver Platt, Colm Feore, Katie Findlay, Alexander Zonchek, the Tea Party, Tamia, former Prime Minister Paul Martin, and current NDP leader Jagmeet Singh grew up in Windsor. Now, for better or worse, Windsor is part of who I am. I've held many day jobs. I was a banker. I worked as a manager for a local utility company. I taught accounting. And I was a caseworker at social services. Is that who I am? I'm also a writer. I've published 6 books so far. I was a partner in a small publishing company, designed book covers. I'm currently directing a horror movie based off a script I wrote with my boyfriend. Is that who I am? So, do people think I'm crazy because I'm a writer? No. Well, the reason why people people think that I'm a little crazy is, see, when I was at work, I was being harassed because of the color of my skin. And I asked them to stop. And when they didn't stop, I filed a grievance. And that is apparently fucking crazy. So, what actually is mental health? And how can you tell if you are crazy?